assistant at Cooking in the County, and it's so good to be back. Christmas is over, we're almost to the new year, and I'm going to bring you a new recipe. I hope you all had a great Christmas. We didn't have one of the best Christmases we've ever had. We were out of power starting on Friday, didn't come back till like late Sunday night. So we were out of power for almost like 52 hours. So it really wasn't one of the funnest Christmases we've ever had. But we're moving on. We're going to keep moving forward. We hope that 2023 is going to be a better year. I don't have a whole lot of hope, but let's pray that 2023 is going to be a good year. So today I'm going to bring you a recipe that I've been making for quite some time. We used to live in Georgia, and this is kind of a southern dish, I guess. It's a Trisha Yearwood recipe, and my family loves it. You typically have it with collard greens, and of course I don't have collard greens here, so we're going to make it with green beans, but this is going to be a potato, it's a potato beef casserole. It has cheese and stuff. It's really yummy. So here's a list of ingredients you're going to need to make this really yummy and quick beef and cheese casserole. No. Potato beef casserole.
Okay, you're going to need 3 pounds of potatoes. Red potatoes are best, but today I'm using some russets, and those are just as good. You're going to need 1 pound of hamburger, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, 2 cups of milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 cup of flour, a half an onion chopped up, and some breadcrumbs. And for our side dishes, I'm going to make some cornbread with some corn and some cheese and some green beans, and we can't forget the hot sauce.
So the first thing we're going to start with is 3 pounds of potatoes. Now, typically for this recipe, red potatoes are the best potatoes to use, but all I have are russet, but these are small. I know they cook different. I feel like red potatoes kind of cook a little more creamy, and russets are more of a dry, but it's still gonna be absolutely delicious. But ideally, it should be red potatoes, okay? So this is 3 pounds. I just picked all the small ones I had. So I'm gonna peel these, and we're gonna come right back, and then we're gonna dice them, and we're gonna boil them, and then we're gonna fry some hamburger. It's gonna be yummy. So let me peel these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna boil these potatoes, and I have my water on, and I like to add a chicken bouillon to my water because it really flavors your chicken really well. It flavors your potatoes really well. Okay, so we need to cut these about about that thick. I'm not good with math, I'm not good with fractions, but about that thick. We're gonna throw them in the boiling water. And we're just going to get them cooked, I'm going to say for about 10 minutes, okay? I'm going to throw them in the boiling water, boil them for 10 minutes, and then we're going to finish up the recipe. You want them up a little bit thick because you don't want them completely falling apart in your recipe. So while we're waiting for our potatoes to boil, we're going to fry a pound of hamburger. Okay. So we're just going to crunch that all up. Just going to get this cooked off. Murph, shush. We're going to add a little bit of the house seasoning, salt, pepper, and garlic. Put in there. And this is a half an onion chopped up. Try that out. Get that fried up so it's no longer pink, and keep this boiling for a few more minutes. Okay, the hamburger's all cooked up. Off to the side. potatoes are all boiled, so we're gonna let them kind of dry a little bit. Same pot, because I don't want to dirty any more dishes. We're gonna make a roux. So I need 4 tablespoons of butter. Let that melt. And into this, I'm just cooking this over medium heat. That melts a minute. Butter is starting to boil a little bit. So you add 1/4 cup of flour. You just kind of want to stir that in. You kind of want it to get just a little bit dark. I'm going to slowly add in some cold milk. I'm just trying to cook off the flour some, I guess. That's what they tell you. I'm sure you guys have missed Murphy. He's barking. My little Yorkie. It's good enough for me. So 2 cups of milk, cold milk, slowly. Stir it in. Immediately thickens up. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm not a chef, but I think your milk has to be cold or it's going to clump, but I don't know that for sure. I'm sure someone will tell me the difference. Okay. So I'm just going to stir this all in. I like a lot of pepper in my white sauces for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like it needs lots of pepper, so that's what I'm adding. You don't have to. And I'll add a little bit of salt. Turn this heat up a little bit. You just want to get this thickened up a little bit, and then we're going to add the cheese. You don't want it to get too thick, because then it's not a nice and gooey sauce. So don't let it go too far to get too thick. So for me, get a spoon here. For me, I don't want it too thick right now because it's going to thicken up when it cooks. So I'm going to keep it a little bit loose. Try it though. Okay. I think it needs a little more salt. Okay. So to this, I'm going to shut the heat right off. 2 cups of cheddar cheese. I like the extra sharp. You use the cheese you like. And I always recommend you shred it yourself because you don't have all those added, like, I don't know what they have, like flour or something in there. So we're just going to mix this cheese until it's melted. Won't take long at all. Okay, and look how thicker it got already. See? Yeah, nice. Okay, taking that off the heat. Our hamburger's off the heat, and now we're going to mix these two together. Just mix your hamburger and your onion right in with your cheese sauce. All this is 1 pound of hamburger with a half an onion cut up. Okay, let's just stir that in. That looks amazing right there. There. Perfect. Yum. Okay, now we're going to assemble it. Okay. I think this is an 8x8 or 9x9. I think it's an 8x8 pan. And I'm going to spray it just a little bit. Or a lot bit. So, I'm going to layer it kind of like a lasagna. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. So the potatoes have cooled down enough that you can touch them now. So we're just gonna kind of layer them. Be careful they don't break up. Whoop. So just layer the bottom. And I'm going to salt and pepper them one more time just to make sure we have lots of flavor. Potatoes can be kind of bland sometimes. Then we're going to scoop some of our mixture on top of the potatoes. Just half of it. Spread it all out. And put your last bit of potatoes on top. Salt and pepper them. And the rest of your mixture. Now, if you're gonna throw this in the oven right now, everything's pretty much already cooked. So 350 at 20 minutes, and this is gonna be bubbling and delicious. For me, it's only 1:30. So I'm gonna be putting this, in the refrigerator for a couple hours. So I'm gonna still bake this at 350, but it's gonna be for about 30, 45 minutes depending on it. Also, I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk over the dogs. Also, you gotta put breadcrumbs on the top, and okay, I think the dogs are done barking. So I'm not getting ready to eat yet, and I'm not gonna put this in the oven for a couple hours. So I'm gonna still bake this at 350, but it's gonna take about half an hour to 45 minutes until it's bubbly. Also, you're gonna put some breadcrumbs on top. As you know, I don't always have breadcrumbs, but I found a great alternative is stuffing mix. Just crunch it up. That's the best breadcrumbs, and they're nice and seasoned and they're yummy, and this is a cornbread one, which is perfect. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and then I'm gonna bake it, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with it. But I wanna show you also what I serve this with. So like I said earlier, it should typically be served with collard greens, and we don't have any collard greens here in northern Maine that I know of right now. So I'm just gonna serve some green beans, and I'm gonna make some cornbread, and we're gonna do that next. And this meal calls for hot sauce. You gotta have hot sauce on this, have hot sauce on the beans. It just really calls for hot sauce. You gotta have hot sauce. On the collard greens, it's the best. I'm gonna try it on the green beans. I don't see why it wouldn't taste good. I think anything with hot sauce is good, and I love Frank's red hot sauce. So anyway, we're gonna go make some cornbread, and we can bake it at the same time as we're cooking this. So when it's time for supper, I'll be back, and I'll show you how absolutely yummy and delicious this is gonna be. Okay, it's almost time for dinner. So I am taking our casserole out from the refrigerator. It's all cold. Now I'm gonna add my breadcrumbs. We're gonna throw this in the oven. I'm gonna say half an hour to 45 minutes, just till it's nice and bubbly. Okay, now I'm getting ready to make my cornbread. I like to make it in my cast iron. You do not have to. So how I like to do it is put the cast iron in the oven to let it warm up while I'm making it up. Okay, I'm just gonna use the Jiffy mix. Throw that in. And like I said, this is how I do my cornbread. If this isn't how you do cornbread, that's okay. You just keep doing it the way that you like to do it. This is just how we like to do it, or me. So all the mix. 1/3 cup of milk. 1 egg. put it in. Okay. About a half a cup of cheese. And I like 1 can of whole kernel corn. I'm just gonna mix that all up. I drain the corn, obviously. Okay, it's gonna be really thick. We're just gonna give the cast iron just a few more minutes to warm up. Okay, this is nice and warm now. Obviously be very careful because it's really hot. I'm gonna put this butter. And my dough in there. We're gonna cook this for about 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes. Cornbread is done. It looks delicious. I just take a little butter and put it on top. See it kind of glistening. It's going to stay warm in the cast iron. So we just have a few more minutes left on the casserole. Okay, the casserole is done. It's amazing. Let's scoop that out. The green beans are cooking. Those will be done in just a minute. Nice and piping hot. Still nice and gooey. Cornbread. Test the cornbread first. The saltiness of the butter and the cheese, so yummy, with the sweetness and the crunch of the whole corn. Perfect. Try it that way. So now we're going to try the casserole, but I have to have some hot sauce on it. You got to try it with hot sauce. So good. Look. Okay. It's a big potato. Cheesy, potatoey, hot sauce. So good. Just a little bit more. We'll just add some green beans. Collard greens would be much better. Murphy's still going at it. Hopefully I'm going to that's good. There you go. This lovely beefy cheesy potato casserole. Yummy, sweet and salty cornbread and a little bit of green beans. Okay guys, hope you try this recipe. It's delicious, it's yummy. And I hope you have an amazing new year, 2023. Let's call it to be a good year. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe. Maybe this year I will finally make it to my 1,000 subscribers. So let me know in the comments below if you try this meal, and I hope you love it. Okay, thanks guys.